Let's be honest. You care what people think. You care when someone ignores your message, when your joke doesn't land, when your post doesn't get enough likes. You tell yourself you don't, but deep down, a small, anxious part of you checks for approval like oxygen. And that's the quiet prison we all live in. Because somewhere along the way, you started trading your peace for perception. You started shaping yourself not by who you are, but by how others see you. And that's why you feel so disconnected, because you've become an actor in your own life, performing for an invisible audience that never applauds loud enough. But what if you could walk away from that stage completely? What if you could stop caring what anyone thought of you and finally start living as if you were free? Section 1. The hidden slavery of approval. Most people don't realize how deeply they're enslaved by opinion. The German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said that the greatest form of slavery is the one we willingly submit to, the slavery of the herd. We crave to belong, to be accepted, to be loved. It's built into our biology. The human brain evolved in tribes where rejection meant death. That same instinct still drives us today. Only now, instead of exile, we fear being ignored. Instead of banishment, we fear disapproval. You post something, and a number appears. You share your thoughts, and silence answers. And immediately your mind calculates your worth. You tell yourself it doesn't matter, but it does. You edit your opinions, your personality, even your dreams, all to avoid friction. You'd rather be agreeable than authentic. But here's the tragedy. The more you live for approval, the less you live at all. Section 2. The mirror trap. Plato wrote about people chained in a cave, mistaking shadows for reality. That's exactly what happens when we live through other people's eyes. We mistake perception for truth. You start seeing yourself only through mirrors, through how others react, judge, or respond. If they admire you, you feel good. If they criticize you, you crumble. Your self-image becomes fragile like glass, beautiful to look at, but easy to shatter. Psychologists call this external validation dependency. You've outsourced your sense of self. You've given strangers the authority to tell you who you are. And what's worse, you don't even know you're doing it. You might think you're chasing success, beauty, or respect, but deep down, you're chasing permission to exist. Section 3. The Stoic Rebellion. This is where Stoic philosophy enters, not as dusty wisdom, but as rebellion. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, once wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but we care more about their opinions than our own." He wasn't talking about arrogance. He was describing delusion. We spend our entire lives trying to impress people who are just as lost as we are. The Stoics had one rule: focus only on what you can control. You can't control whether people like you. You can't control how they interpret your actions. You can only control your intent, your integrity, your inner compass. Imagine this. You're walking through a storm. The rain lashes your face, the wind howls, but inside, your flame stays steady. That's what Stoic detachment is, not indifference, but inner steadiness. To stop caring what others think doesn't mean you stop caring about other people. It means you stop building your identity on borrowed opinions. Section 4. The Machiavellian Truth. But let's be brutally honest. Complete indifference to opinion is almost impossible. Machiavelli knew this. He understood that power and perception are inseparable. To survive, you must know how others see you, but not be controlled by it. So the goal isn't to ignore opinion entirely. It's to use it without losing yourself. Care strategically, not emotionally. Understand perception, but remain anchored in reality. A wise person can play the game without becoming the game. That's the balance. Outer awareness, inner freedom. Section 5. The psychological root of approval addiction. Why do we crave validation so much? Psychology gives a painful answer. Because at some point, someone taught you that love was conditional. You learned that being yourself wasn't enough, that approval had to be earned. So, you built a mask. You learned to perform, to please, to become the version of yourself that others applauded. But over time, the mask stuck. You forgot where it ended, and you began. That's why rejection feels like death, because it threatens not your ego, but your constructed identity. Every time someone disapproves of you, it cracks the illusion you've been protecting your whole life. The only way out is through honesty, brutal, uncomfortable honesty. You must admit that the version of you others love might not be the real you. And that's terrifying, but it's also liberation. Section 6. Nietzsche's challenge, becoming who you are. Nietzsche once wrote, "Become who you are." It sounds simple, but it's the hardest command in philosophy. Because to become who you are, you must first destroy who you pretend to be. That means losing people who liked your mask. It means being misunderstood. It means standing alone while others gossip and doubt you. But here's the paradox. The moment you stop performing, you attract people who see you. Not the act, not the version, you. And once you experience that kind of freedom, you can't go back. Section 7. The quiet power of detachment. Detachment doesn't mean apathy. It means choosing your peace over their perception. When someone mocks you, stay silent. When someone misunderstands you, let them. When someone leaves you, don't chase. Just stand still and breathe. Because every time you don't react, you prove something profound to yourself, that their judgment holds no power over your soul. Think of your mind as a still lake. Every opinion is a stone thrown into it. You can't stop the stones, but you can choose not to let the ripples disturb your reflection. That's real strength, quiet, invisible, and unshakable. Section 8. The inner revolution. Here's a truth most people never realize. You can't truly stop caring what others think until you stop needing others to tell you who you are. The goal isn't to become heartless, it's to become whole. When you finally understand your own values, your own principles, your own worth, other people's opinions start to sound like background noise. You stop performing and start being. You stop seeking applause and start seeking meaning. And meaning doesn't come from being liked. It comes from being real. Section 9. The solitude test. If you want to know whether you've truly stopped caring, try this test. Sit alone. No phone, no distractions, no validation. Just silence. Can you be at peace in that silence? Can you sit with your thoughts without trying to escape them? Because that's where your true self hides, behind the noise of other people's opinions. Solitude isn't loneliness, it's freedom from needing an audience. And once you've tasted that, you'll never fear disapproval again. Conclusion. The freedom beyond fear. When you stop caring what others think, something strange happens. The world doesn't end. The people who matter stay. The ones who don't drift away. And you realize you were never trying to please them. You were trying to silence the fear inside you. The fear of not being enough. But you are enough. Not because they say so, not because you've proven it, but because you exist, and that's reason enough to be whole. So let the world misunderstand you. Let them judge, mock, forget. Walk your path quietly, like a flame in the wind, untouched by the noise around you. Because the day you stop caring what others think is the day you start becoming who you truly are.